What do you think of when you hear royal wedding? Massive palaces, designer gowns, and of course a price tag that could buy a small island? Well, today we're diving into the most luxurious royal weddings from around the world. From golden carriages to diamond bouquets, these weddings spared no expense. But which royal couple took I do to the next level? Let's count down the most extravagant, breathtaking, and wallet-busting royal weddings ever. Remember to subscribe to this channel to stay updated on our videos. Kicking things off, we have King Jigme Khesar of Bhutan and Jetsun Pema's 2011 wedding, which was intimate yet stunning. Costing around $23 million, it was modest compared to other royal weddings, but steeped in tradition. The ceremony took place in a 17th century monastery fortress in the Himalayan mountains, with Bhutanese customs, religious rituals, and blessings from Buddhist monks. Despite being called the Dragon King, Jigme Khesar kept the celebration low-key, inviting only a few hundred guests, which included locals and family members. Jetsun Pema, now known as the Queen of Hearts, wore a stunning traditional kira made of hand-woven Bhutanese fabric, rather than a fancy designer gown. While it didn't come with a mind-boggling price tag, it was still a royal wedding to remember, full of warmth, joy, and a celebration of Bhutan's rich traditions. When Crown Prince Felipe of Spain married Letizia Ortiz, a former journalist, it was the kind of fairy tale wedding that you'd expect from royalty, held in Madrid's Almudena Cathedral. Their wedding was attended by royals from across Europe, as well as political leaders from all over the world. Letizia's dress was an absolute stunner, with intricate gold embroidery and a 15-foot train that made her look like she walked straight out of a royal painting. Designed by Spanish designer Manuel Pertegas, the gown was traditional but still fresh, perfectly suited for Spain's modern royal couple. The celebration didn't end at the altar, though. The reception at the royal palace was filled with Spanish traditions, featuring luxurious banquets, music, and a parade through the streets of Madrid. Over 1.5 million people lined the streets to celebrate, making it one of the most public royal weddings in Spanish history. While it wasn't quite as over the top as some other royal weddings, the event still cost around $29 million. The grand cathedral, the massive guest list, and the sheer scale of the event made this wedding a fit for Spain's future king and queen. Crown Prince Frederick of Denmark and Mary Donaldson's wedding might not have been the global spectacle of, say, a British royal bash, but trust me, it was straight out of a fairy tale. Mary, born in Australia and now set to be Denmark's future queen, married Frederick at the stunning Copenhagen Cathedral, surrounded by 800 guests. Her dress, an absolute showstopper, Danish designer Uffe Frank crafted a gown that featured lace from the 19th century, a gift from Queen Margaret II herself. And get this, the gown came with an 18-foot train and an antique veil, making Mary look every bit the real-life princess, combining tradition with her own effortless style. The reception at Fredensborg Palace was next-level fancy. Fireworks, royal banquets, and a night of non-stop partying. But this wasn't just about two people saying I do. It was a moment that united Denmark and Australia, with the Danish people wholeheartedly welcoming Mary as their own. Oh, and the price tag? A cool $32 million. Not too shabby, really. Prince William and Kate Middleton's wedding wasn't just big, it was huge. We're talking global event, watched by billions of people around the world. Held at the iconic Westminster Abbey, they said their vows in front of 1,900 guests, including heads of state, celebs, and just about every European royal you can think of. And let's talk about Kate's dress. Designed by Sarah Burton for Alexander McQueen, it was pure perfection. Rumor has it the dress cost a whopping $400,000. The whole thing was planned down to the last detail, from the royal carriages to the two receptions. Yes, they partied twice. Everything was beyond regal. But it wasn't just about the fancy fashion and epic guest list. The entire country of England threw a massive party. There were street parties, public screenings, and close to 1 million people packed the streets of London just to catch a glimpse of the happy couple during their carriage ride to Buckingham Palace. To cap it all off with a little extra flair, the Royal Air Force did a flyover. The price tag? Oh, just a casual $34 million. No big deal, right? But in the end, it wasn't about the money. It's remembered as one of the most beautiful, most watched, and most talked about royal weddings of all time. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding was easily one of the most talked about events of the decade. Held at St. George's Chapel in Windsor Castle, it perfectly blended classic British royal traditions with Meghan's modern personal touch. Her sleek, minimalist Givenchy gown by Claire Waite Keller stole the show, especially with its stunning veil embroidered with flowers representing all 53 Commonwealth countries. The ceremony itself had a refreshing, down-to-earth feel, with Meghan making her way halfway down the aisle solo before Prince Charles stepped in to escort her the rest of the way. As for the hefty price tag, most of the estimated $45 million went to security, ensuring the safety of the royal couple and their star-studded guest list, which included Oprah, George Clooney, and Elton John, who even performed at the reception. Held at Frogmore House, the reception was full of modern twists, like their lemon elderflower cake, which ditched the traditional fruit cake entirely. This wasn't just another royal wedding. This was the beginning of a new era for the royal family. Monaco's royal wedding was like something straight out of a movie. Prince Albert II, the son of Grace Kelly and Prince Rainier III, married former Olympic swimmer Charlene Wittstock in a glamorous 2-day event. It wasn't just the royal family on the guest list. Celebrities, world leaders, and top athletes all gathered in Monaco for the big day. Charlene's wedding dress? It was designed by Giorgio Armani and covered in 40,000 Swarovski crystals. Talk about sparkle. The whole affair was like a fairy tale, but with a Mediterranean twist. Sunshine, yachts, and some seriously scenic backdrops. The entire event was broadcast live, and for the reception, guests dined on Michelin-starred cuisine. Just when things seemed extravagant enough, the Eagles hit the stage for a surprise performance. Despite rumors that Charlene had cold feet with reports she tried to leave Monaco before the wedding, the couple went ahead and everything appeared flawless, at least publicly. With an estimated price tag of $70 million, it remains one of the most expensive royal weddings in Europe. Now, this is where things get truly next level. When Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the crown prince of Abu Dhabi, married Princess Salama in 1981. It was a celebration like no other. For starters, they built a whole stadium, just for the wedding. It was a 7-day celebration that brought in people from all over the UAE, as well as royals and dignitaries from around the world. Camels, horses, traditional dances, you name it, they had it. It was like a festival of culture, celebrating the marriage of the crown prince with all the grandeur you'd expect from Middle Eastern royalty. The guest list was massive, and the newlyweds were showered with luxurious gifts from all over the world. The price tag? A cool $100 million, making it one of the most expensive weddings in history. Prince Diana and Prince Charles's wedding is probably the most iconic royal wedding of all time. Dubbed the Wedding of the Century, this event took place at St. Paul's Cathedral in London and was broadcast to over 750 million people around the world. Diana's dress, designed by David and Elizabeth Emanuel, was straight up legendary, featuring a 25-foot train and enough taffeta to fill a ballroom. It was classic, dramatic, and became one of the most recognizable wedding dresses in history. The whole day was a fairy tale brought to life, from the horse-drawn carriage ride through London to the Buckingham Palace balcony kiss that became instantly iconic. But as dreamy as it all seemed, it came with a hefty price tag, around $110 million when adjusted for inflation. The wedding was a symbol of British grandeur and tradition, capturing the hearts of millions, even though the marriage itself would later take a very public tumble. Still, Diana's wedding day remains one of the most memorable moments in royal history. Brunei doesn't mess around when it comes to royal weddings. Scratch that. Brunei doesn't mess around when it comes to anything that has to do with luxury. When Prince Abdul Malik, the son of the Sultan of Brunei, married Dayangku Rabiatul Adawiyah in 2015, it was pure extravagance. The ceremony took place in the Sultan's 1,788-room palace. Yes, that's right, 1,788 rooms. The bride was decked out in diamonds from head to toe. Even her bouquet was made of precious gems. It was like something out of a fantasy novel, with endless gold, shimmering jewels, and a celebration that lasted for days. At an estimated cost of $130 million, this wedding was all about going big or going home. The couple celebrated with multiple banquets, luxurious feasts, and entertainment for their guests. From the Sultan's palace to the designer outfits, everything was custom-made and dripping with luxury. This wasn't just a royal wedding, it was a national celebration, and Brunei made sure it was a spectacle the world wouldn't forget. The crown for the most luxurious royal wedding of all time has to go to Prince Jeffrey Bolkiah of Brunei. In 1987, Prince Jeffrey, the brother of the Sultan, threw a wedding that left even the wealthiest royals in awe. This week-long celebration reportedly cost a staggering $270 million. The wedding was a mix of extravagance and excess, with gold-plated decorations, lavish feasts, fireworks, and everything you'd expect from the richest family in the world at the time. Guests were treated to an endless parade of luxury, from exotic animals at the reception to personalized gifts that made sure no one left empty-handed. Imagine personalized gifts for every single guest. That's crazy work. The sheer scale of the event was unlike anything anyone had ever seen before. Every aspect of the wedding was designed to showcase the immense wealth of the Brunei royal family. While most royal weddings are grand, this one set the bar so high that it's unlikely to be topped anytime soon. Unfortunately, that's all for today. Tell us in the comments which of these weddings blew your mind the most. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more amazing content from us. See you next time.